Here is the only tool you're going to need to track your dividends, your passive income, and your portfolio growth. It's finally ready. I have the Google Sheets version that's going to be simpler and easier for everyone to use. And I'm really excited to showcase in this video how I track all of my dividends, my growth, all of my portfolio in one simple way. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I'll have everything showcased in this video for those that are looking for something like this and those who are curious on how this dividend tracking sheet actually works. Before we get into all the details though, don't forget if you're interested in dividends in the stock market to like and to subscribe. Let's roll that intro. I cannot believe this thing is done. I am so excited. Huge shout out to the developer, Brian, for putting in so much work into the spreadsheet. He was absolutely amazing, responded to all my emails, and we got it done. It's amazing. So I'm going to showcase really quickly every page on here. So starting with the instructions, it gives a full breakdown on how to input in your data, what's going to be automatic, what's going to be manual entry, the dividends, your starting cost basis, number of shares, all that stuff. Everything is in here. But the first thing is I want everyone to remember you have to make your own individual copy to base it off of. So it's going to ask you to make a copy when you click the link if you are interested in this product. But then we have our portfolio page, our dashboard page. Shows us cost basis, market value, all of these numbers. Mine's a little bit wonky because I haven't transferred in the dividend data, but I'll explain exactly why, because I'm making some big adjustments. Then we have our positions tab. So here's all of my current holdings. Yours is going to be a blank canvas, so you'll input all of this stuff in on your own. But wow, it looks amazing. I actually like it a lot better than the Excel version. We have diversification, showcases how much is in each position and whatnot. Great stuff. We have our monthly dividend log, which I don't have anything in on here. Same with our weekly, and I don't have anything in on here again, but it's so simple to input, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it. You have your sold positions, we have our watch list, we have our monthly data breakdown, which once everything's filled out, it's going to showcase all the data that we need for how much we're investing every single month, how much we're putting like monthly contribution wise, not just what stocks we're buying, but how much we're putting in from our paychecks. We have our dividend income and then our total amount invested. This is all phenomenal. Then we go on, there's more data. You have your weekly portfolio, all this good stuff. But I want to go back to the positions portfolio, and I want to showcase the power of this spreadsheet. I need to showcase really quickly, this is available for purchase. It's $30, which I think is phenomenal. I've seen a lot that go for quite a bit more money, but I didn't want to upcharge it for no real reason. It's a useful tool, and I actually didn't even ever intend to sell this when I had it created. So I was using it to just track my own dividends, and I couldn't figure out a good one. I had a number of free ones that weren't working for me. They didn't include the weeklies, which this one really showcases the weekly dividends perfectly, in my opinion. And so I had it made and people asked me for it. And so then I had it perfected. I've been doing a bunch of tests on it to make sure it works, to make sure everything is up to date on it. And it's been absolutely amazing. So it is available. You can use the link down below in the pinned comment, and it's going to take you to my little website where you can purchase it. It's $30 again, which I think it's pretty solid. So I hope you guys are interested. If you're not, let me know why. If there's feedback on what I can do to improve this, I would really appreciate it. But I really want it to be a tool that people use and love, just like I do, because it really changed how I look at dividend investing and investing as a whole through growth, through dividends. And maybe one day I can retire just looking at these numbers and realizing here's how much money I am making, which is not easy to do with just a simple brokerage. So we're going to take a look at each individual portion, but I want to showcase that the positions tab is probably the most important. It goes all the way to slot 45, but we're starting at slot 5 or cell number 5. So you have 40 cells to put in your data. You have 40 tickers you can do. You can change them out. It's pretty simple to do that. But I want to showcase these are all my tickers that I'm holding currently that pay a dividend and some that have growth. I've kind of updated it, but I'm really excited to be using this thing all the time. So we're going to input in the ticker. That's going to generate the name, and then you can view the stock on Seeking Alpha or ETF. Then we have our number of shares and our average cost per share. That's what we're going to fill out independently. And the reason mine look kind of funny is because I used to have drip on. And when you have drip on, it's harder to track your dividends because you're simply reinvesting everything. And then especially with my brokerage Fidelity, it doesn't really tell me the accurate numbers simply because it might be buying more and more shares of something with the dividends and that price is going down. So it's showcasing a bigger loss than my actual investment, which can be confusing. And that's why I like these spreadsheets. So now what I'm doing is I have drip turned off. All of my dividends are going to flow into my cash portion. way up here. And I'll actually zoom in so you guys can see a little better. But up here is cash. And so this is going to showcase how much money I have sitting in the portfolio that's not invested. And I will be buying things from that position, meaning my dividends from ETFs and from stocks, I will be using to buy more of either the same dividend and ETF or a different one, maybe even growth. It all depends on what you're wanting to do. But this thing is really, really powerful. And we can actually see all of my cells have been filled out. We have the total return for all of my stuff, some of it being really in the green, some of it being really in the red. Unfortunately, Misty and COIW have been some of my worst performers. And then you can actually input in the different sectors, if it's a stock, if it's energy, ETF, finance, with banking, all sorts of different things. So we can see my best performer is ET, Energy Transfer. It's up 121.63%, and it has been reinvesting those dividends until recently. And you can go down and see, of course, the 52-week high and low, what's near the top, what's near the bottom. I like this quick glance tool because it usually shows me where I want to buy, because I don't like to buy things at the high. I like to buy them in the mid-range to the lower range, which is very, very important. And we have so much data on this page. So again, you fill out the sector, everything that's yellow, you're going to fill out yourself. And your sheet will look different. It's going to be quite simple compared to mine because it's not filled out. So it'll be mostly blank. When you fill out the tickers, it's going to auto-populate all this info. You're going to put in your dividend growth rate. And then we also have our cost basis and market value, which is very, very important. For stuff that's paying a dividend, this is key. You have annual dividend income. We have cost basis, income versus cost basis. You have so many key factors here. And then some really important stuff, total dividends received. Now, I don't have this filled out because I didn't put in my dividends because they were all dripping. So now that they're not, I will be filling this out and showcasing what pays me the most in dividends. And that's going to give you a percentage of your total income. So what's making you the most, what have you invested the most in, what overall has been your best investment is going to be showcased by these numbers specifically. And it definitely is the most important page. But I want to show you guys the other ones because there's a lot in this spreadsheet. Then we have our diversification, which this area down here is dividend income. I don't have any dividend income calculated in the sheet yet, and that's why it's showing blank. But it's going to be so interesting to see where the dividend income's coming from, if it's ETFs, if it's finance, if it's energy, which a lot of mine will be energy because I like energy stocks that pay a dividend. And then you can see position sizes and whatnot, and this will actually showcase all of your top holdings. You can see I have a couple that are way higher holdings than others, because some things I put a lot of money into and some I simply hold off. Then we have our monthly dividend log. Now I'm going to zoom in on this one, and it's a little bit tricky, but you're not going to be filling out this portion. This is all data because it's all white. So this will be auto-populated. What we're going to input data into is our weekly dividend page. And so we can see it has start dates, it has end dates. So we can see for the week, let's go to this week. So it is currently October, and we can zoom in on this month. So if I got a dividend the first week of October, it would go in right here. And second week would go here, third week here, and so on and so forth. And then that is going to auto pull this data to our monthly dividend log. So you're going to be able to see, well, even though I have 5 weekly payers, I can see exactly which one made me the most this month without having to add it up myself. And then on top of that, we can slide all the way to the right, and this gives you your total. So it's going to tell you your total for what you made each week, which is one of my favorite things to look at, because some weeks I have some stocks that even pay quarterly. So when I get a dividend payment, it's pretty large and it makes a really big difference. But it's so much fun. But again, you have to fill out all of this dividend data on your own, and it's going to auto pull this data and put it into your monthly log, into your positions tab. It's going to change what not your investment amount is, but it's going to showcase your total return. So everything is tied together, and that's why it's really important to only use the yellow cells. And that's going to remind me again, you guys, if you do purchase this, you're going to be asked to make a copy of it because this is a live document. So the copy you'll save, you'll utilize it, bookmark it on your browser, and that's going to be how you track your own dividends. We don't want to all be using this exact spreadsheet to track our dividends because, well, it just would not work. So if you have questions as well, feel free to drop them in the comments. There's so much more that goes into this. I didn't even cover everything. You can have your sold positions. You can have your watch list, which I really like if you want to put in a watch list price. Like, oh, I started looking at Ulti at 550. Now it's at 590. What money would I have made? And then you have your monthly data, again, split up into a different factor where now you have monthly contributions, what you're putting into your portfolio, what dividend income you're getting, total amount invested, weekly data. And one really important part is your annual portion. And this is super important because it's going to give you your market value, how much money you put in each year, your dividend income, and the yield. And that is so cool to track. Even though I haven't had this exact sheet for a year yet, I did utilize this page on my Excel version, and it was so cool to see year over year, like, oh, wow, I put $10,000 more this year into the stock market than last year. Oh, my dividend income went up by 25%. So this page is very, very important. And even though it takes a lot of effort to get good data for this page, it is definitely worth it. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think feedback-wise, if there's improvements I can make. And again, a giant shout out to the developer, Brian, for putting this thing together and perfecting it. If you guys have any issues and you're curious, oh, I never even mentioned this. If you already bought the Excel version, I'm going to try and send out a group email that's going to get all of you this version as well for free. There's no extra charge. You guys already paid for the product. Now that we're improving it, I want all you guys to have it. So if you already bought the first version, this one will be free. If you don't receive an email from me soon, reach out to me with my email associated with this YouTube channel, and I will get it to you guys for sure. I'm really excited to have everyone using this and to get me some feedback. And if we do need to make some adjustments, I'm happy to do that. But as always, thank you guys so much. You have been so amazing. The support with the channel has been just unbelievable. So I'm so grateful for you guys, and I hope you love this dividend tracking tool. That's it. That's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to like these popping up on your screen right now. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. And most importantly, don't forget to spread some love today.